Year to everyone. Happy New Year, and it's really yeah, it's really good to be able to see everyone. How is everyone doing?
Yes, good evening, everybody. Good evening. We are the four sexy verses guys. The four sexy guys for this evening.
Well, it's good to see you, Stephen Kelly.
Bringing sexy back. Bringing sexy back with I'll Be Sure tonight.
Yeah. Goodness. So, VJ, people might say your background looks a little bit different from what we've normally seen you over the past 18 months, but you are not having a sauna while doing a broadcast.
Yeah, I'm in a sauna right now. I just thought I'd mix it up and be in a sauna. No, I'm. This is my old bedroom at my mum's house, and she's moving house on Saturday, so I'm staying with her. So, yeah, these are my old cupboards. So you're in my old bedroom.
And Andrew, how have you been, sir?
I've been really good. Super looking forward to some time on the 30th of this month. The new edition will be performing here in Las Vegas. And on the 14th, Diana Ross will be performing. So that's a Valentine's Day date. And then finally, Bruno Mars will be kicking off his new tour at Allegiant Stadium here in Vegas. So it's a lot of shows happening, man. And I already got to watch that concert budget because, man. But anyway, I'm excited for the start of the new year. So I'm doing great.
Goodness. That's one of the benefits of living in Vegas. Everything happens in Vegas.
Yeah, one of the reasons I moved here. So
Goodness. Mr. Savagnon, welcome. Good evening. G21, good evening as well.
Yes.
Jez? Is that Jez? Okay.
He's a DJ Manchester.
Okay, DJ Jez.
So if anyone's looking for a DJ, hip hop DJ in Manchester, please go and check out Jez Miley. He's eager for some hip hop DJ work, and he's really good. I can vouch for him.
Okay,
good stuff.
Yes. All right. And Stevie, Vinyl Search Hero. So, I'll Be Sure's Sexy Verses album. What did we make of this album? Hello, Helpful. Hey, music tips and reviews. Vijay, I'll start with you. What did you make of I'll Be Sure's third album on Warner Brothers? I think it was his last on Warner Brothers.
I think for me, as per my age, this was the one that I really dug it. I was really into this album because the timing, 1992, kind of fitted me being in college, that kind of era. And yeah, it was a great album. I think the others were a little bit, I was too young to have processed, little bit too young. I was still listening to it, but this is when it really hit. And there's not a bad track on this album. Not one, not a single bad track on this album. So I love it.
Okay. But Benson's Father Christmas. We will still have Randy Jackson and the Gypsies. Yes, we'll look into that. And Mac as well, and Paul Hampton. Welcome, Stevie. What did you make of I'll Be Sure's Sexy Verses?
Tell you what, Benson's, with all these super chats you keep sending, the halftime chat, we're going to have to do that Randy and the Gypsies album. Definitely. Who else has joined? M Mac is here. Paul Hampton's here. Theo Terrell's here. Thank you all for joining us. It occurred to me the other day, not just this album, but what a 3-album run he did from 88 to 92. I mean, we go on about Bobby Brown and Aaron Hall as the new Jack Swing stars, but these were 3 really, really solid albums, weren't they? And they all had big new Jack Swing tracks on them. You know, you got Heart again. He kept that formula going of half it being ballads, half it being new Jack. I mean, this one, it was mixed up a bit, but I agree with what VJ said. It's pretty. I was listening to it the other day and I thought this is really, it's quite solid. I remember when I first heard it at the time, some of the up tempos I weren't too sure about, but now I've really listened to it. It is a very solid album. I struggle to rate this, to be quite honest. I knew what my number one was, as I always do. But from a top 5 of the others, I was like, oh, this is so difficult. I could put any tracks here, really, because that, you know, really enjoy it. And there's a good mix of producers on here as well. First time we're hearing Kevin Dean.
Yeah, this is early Kevin Dean, man. Early Kevin Dean. Wow.
Yeah. Howie T. Yeah. We've got Howie T as well on here. So, yeah, good. Really good.
What about you, Knight? What did you make of it?
Ginormous fan, and I really can't wait to get into this one, because back when it came out, I just felt like it was like Albie Shore's like big push, you know, to kind of like influence the R&B landscape. But what's really funny is that music was changing so fast at that point that you could put out a song and then you had to drop a remix just to like keep up with where the sound was going. So I call it a sprawling tapestry of sound. It's like 73 minutes. It's long. And, you know, to this day, it's my most listened to Albie album. And I'm just excited to, I'm excited to talk about it, because I didn't know, I'll keep it real, in AMD. I actually listened to some of your old podcasts with like Kyle West, as well as Kyle West and Albie, just to see like what I could drop in for this one. And it was when I heard you, not to tell your business, but like when I heard you say that was your favorite album too, I'm like, man, I'm with brothers, man. Because everyone talks about, I feel like until this podcast and until this group, I heard about Sexy Versus the Least, and on Apple Music, you can't even listen to it. I had to go get YouTube Music just to like listen to the album and stream. I have it on CD, but you know, I don't do CDs anymore. And so I had to get a whole new platform just to hear it, because you'll have the first album, the second album, but not the third. There's no love for it, I guess, institutionally. But in here, we know what's up.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's so many people have joined in. So Dio and our good old friend Colin, Hopeful, and Baseline G, everyone as you're coming in, just say hello. We're watching and seeing, so nothing's getting missed. This has always been, because I moved to the States in '92 and the album just came out, and I always remember the video of Natalie. So when I hear the song, it just always evokes the memories of having the CD. And but I was, at the time, I didn't understand why it wasn't commercially successful. But I guess listening to it now, it's the same issue that happened with Ralph. The falsetto singers, and Al Jabbar suffered this as well. We had moved on from that. We had it was the big Aaron Hall and the R. Kelly voices, and the Dino from H Town. It was Jodeci. So all of a sudden, radio and Coco, they were going for that type of voice. And so what Albie Shore was delivering, as good as it was like they just moved quickly, and it was like, wow. And so I'm listening to songs, I'm thinking, oh goodness, he could have gone in a different direction. There's certain songs I listened to with I think Kevin Dean did some of the production. I thought, actually, if he had done this direction, it would have taken the album in a different way and might have found a bit different audience. But we will go through it as we go through the songs. Now, I had invited Albie Shore, so if he does join us, don't be surprised but I'm sure he's watching. But I did give him the details, so and asked him to stop on by, and so I'm always hopeful that he's listening.
Albie Shore, if you're watching, we're waiting. Okay, we're waiting. We're anticipating your arrival. Please join us later on.
Stevie's sounding scary there. Okay, but I mean, I don't know how it was in the UK, VJ and Stevie, with this album. Did it get as much love at the time?
I think limited love. I think there were the singles, obviously, and they were available in all the regular record stores that we would have gone to. But you wouldn't hear these songs in clubs. I can't think of one song off this album that was played in a club. I've never heard, unless it was one of the parties that we put on. I've never heard this in 1992. This just wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Right, Stevie?
There was
Did you hear anything in the clubs?
I've noticed, right, this is a German pressing. There was no, his other two albums got vinyl pressing. There was no vinyl LP pressing on this. I'm just thinking with Record Store Day, could we somehow persuade Warner Brothers to press up, say, 1,000 copies first time on vinyl? Would it sell? Would there be enough interest in America, in the UK, and Germany to sell 1,000 copies on vinyl?
Well,
double vinyl.
If there's 1,000 copies, then me and you are buying 2, aren't we? That's 2.
Well, there you go.
2.
That's 2.
There's 998 copies left for somebody else to buy. That's
yeah.
And also, I felt as well, it's the feeling I get from this album. It really does feel like an end of New Jack Swing era feel to it. It's got like an ending feel, crescendo, like a crescendo. So it's not just me who feels like you get it as well. Yeah.
Nope.
That's good.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. Yes. Yeah.
That's an interesting take, man. And I wanted to share this as well. I did show Namdi earlier. This is it looks like it's been made at home, but this is an original test press of this album that somebody at the record company would have done. And you still there?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So there's what was that song? Ooh for You Girl, right? On this, it's called Oh for You Girl. So it's interesting, just little nuances. There's nothing different on this, but things like this make me very happy. I was just telling Namdi earlier that like these weird items just make me smile. I don't know why. They're completely pointless, but I like them.
Yeah, and I think one of the things
it's that collector's habit of having something that's slightly different to all your other little versions. That's what it is, I think.
Exactly. And I wanted to share this as well. This is Private Times and the Whole Nine. So this is the CD. I might have shared this before. So this comes with a key. There's a key, and the key is supposed to open the lock, and it just comes out. It opens out like that, and you've got this. You got the CD like that, and it's a fantastic, like really nicely pressed booklet. It's a really fancy booklet, nicer than the one that you get in the other, the regular CDs. Just random stuff. I don't know why these little quirky things. As you said, Stevie, collectors are,
If they'd have gone so far to do something like that, why didn't they press any vinyls up? I just don't get it. Really,
I don't know, man. It's like mad, isn't it? Like
because most of the other Warner Brothers albums that came out in '92, they did get a vinyl press. Like say Chucky Booker, his second album in '92. That got a UK European vibe. It's strange, very strange, and it's much bigger named artist as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to look at some of the albums that came out in '92 and just to think about what we thought about the way the direction of music. So we had Mary's "What's the 411," Invokes "Funky Diva," Silk.
Yep.
So that kind of jive. Okay, TLC. Yeah, a TLC with and then also SWV. I can't imagine. Brian McKnight's debut album was '92. I loved that album. I rocked that album. Bobby's album came out as well. Shy, If I Ever Fall in Love. Jade came out around in '92. Chucky Booker's Portrait, Keep It Going, High Five. So there was the landscape of music was changing. I know Tevin's debut album was also out at that time as well. We had the Bodyguard soundtrack, and so and we still had the hangover from Jodeci's "Forever My Ladies" that was still dominating. We still had the Michael Jackson's "Dangerous," so Remember the Time and stuff like that. So it was just listening to what's on the radio, and we also had, I think Bernard Medina was putting a lot of effort into Fresh Prince. So the urban music.
Did you hear the special edition of the Brian McKnight album that you like?
Special? No.
Yeah, the special edition. It's called the Sleeping Bag. The Sleeping Bag edition.
Okay. Okay. So I think what we're trying to get to was that about the way the music industry and the music that was coming out was shifting, but I think Warner Brothers itself as a label, because Chucky was on, he was not on Warner Brothers. He was part of the label, but he was under Sylvia Rhone's Atlantic, East West. So she was still doing like Keith Sweat was still under, under Sylvia Rhone's direction. So they were still doing better with producing, promoting black music. But the Warner Brothers side, Ben Medina wasn't as focused. So hence Karen White was on Warner Brothers. So Prince was the main person on Warner Bros. That they focused on. So I think that also affected how much money they put into promoting the album. Because if you listen to the interview, Andrew, with Carl West, he said that after the second album, they realized they needed to go back to basics, and which it felt like they did. But I think at Warner Brothers, they just weren't in that space. Go ahead, Knight.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, especially even the whole Carl West Break It Down, and right now you hear that do like it goes back to like that night and day. But one thing I also thought was peculiar was that the first two albums were Uptown and Warner Brothers, but there was no Uptown presence anywhere on this third album. And I also wonder if that played a role, that Uptown wasn't involved. And then while I have the microphone, another album I think about is Close to You by Father MC, because to me, Everything's Gonna Be All Right was almost in that same kind of vein as some of the up-tempos in this album. I felt like that was carving out its own lane, even though the whole Death Row and everything else was happening. So like it was that kind of New York, more aggressive hip hop thing that was still R&B, hip hop soul, basically. So that's another album that I think could have helped. Like had they kind of cross promoted, I think that would have worked. But unfortunately, maybe because that Uptown divestiture, that's what played a role.
Yeah, I think you are right, and I remembered it, but I forgot about it. It was the whole thing about having a boutique label doing the streets promotion and marketing and radio, like when Uptown, is that they got the radio, they got the stuff, but when he went about full time with Warner Brothers, it felt like they handled it, but then it was that mismatch of, do we go to the urban labels? We don't know the urban labels as much as we used to. Do we go to the pop side and some of the tracks? And I don't know, and you guys can decide. Was Natalie the best first single
or second single? Right? I thought it
was the first. Then the second was right here, right now. Just let me quickly look again. I just had the album up. I thought it was. I thought just to double check here, the first single was track listed. It was I thought it was Natalie.
For what I remember, it was Right Now in the fall of '92, and then the video for Natalie was actually a remix, and it goes "God Bless the Day," and it was kind of like in a desert Herb Ritts style, black and white. Yeah. But no, I don't think Natalie should have been the second single. Just being real, great song, and also it was a different version than the one in the album too. So I get it, but it was like
the Natalie video. It's there were other tracks that I probably think could have been okay. So Right Now was the lead single, so that's probably why he did a promotion with that. But I just think that the even as good as I love Right Now, I think he probably needed a little bit more, something a little bit more up tempo. I thought if I had a lead single, I probably would have had it between Kick It in the Head, because of Rakim. I just thought that would have evoked some like, oh, Rakim's out of the, and it was a little bit more. It was a little bit more of Kick in the Head. It was a little bit more sort of the drums, and it almost like Brand New Heavies, that type of vibe. And you had Rakim. Wasn't my favorite song, but it felt a little bit more grab your attention with Rakim. Or the other thing was Thanks for the other one was Thanks for a Great Night. I felt that was like a Michael Jackson track that could have been a little bit more crossover, your Kiss 100, and gotten more attention.
Sorry, it's so funny like you're saying those two tracks, because first of all, those are the only two ones that Kevin Dean, I think, is it Kevin Dean was involved in?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I so I jump on this podcast, and Stevie and Vidra, of course, are like, y'all are collectors. So yeah, it's early Kevin Dean, and I'm just like, who that?
Who?
I mean, I never heard of Kevin Dean
never...
until I noticed, like, preparing for this show. So it's just funny you say that, because I absolutely noticed those tracks too, and I would say that Kick in the Head to me would have fit in with that whole everything's going to be all right. You could actually almost have like the same video set in black, like dark, like it's nighttime, cobblestone pavement, combat boots, just that whole Jodeci hip hop soul thing going on. And again, it's Rakim. Come
yeah. That would have been like, oh, it's going to Jody Watley built a whole comeback on having Rakim in a video and on that track. So that was, I just felt he needed something big like that, and then he could have just come with the slow jams and stuff. Vijay, your thoughts? Were you?
I was going to say something earlier. The moment's gone. I was going to say, about this album. I was going to say the fact that they pressed this in the way that they did, and I think Bashir and the Juju Man have just said that they've got different colors. And I know they mentioned burgundy and brown and black. And I know there's a red cover of this. I mean, how many different colors of that did they have? They must have had a budget for the album before Sexy Verses.
Oh, yes. I noticed.
For Sexy
Diana
Verses.
Ross is on there.
Sexy Verses, they must have run out of money completely. Yes. Or as you've already outlined, Namdi, you mentioned Prince on Warner Brothers. You guys also mentioned moving away from Uptown. There's no Uptown connection on this, which is very odd, other than the producers and whatever else. But
yeah.
The label itself is strictly Warner Brothers. So
there's one credit missing on the album as well. I'm hoping you guys might be able to tell me, or someone in the comments. The female vocal on the track "Die for You." Who is it? Very familiar voice, but I'm racking. Who is that singing? There's no credits in here at all.
I looked her up, and she Tabitha. I wrote it down. Where did I put it down here?
Tabitha Brace.
Tabitha Brace. That's.
I mean, her voice was so familiar. I thought, it could.
It's Tabitha on that. That's good. I didn't realize that.
Credits.
Yeah, they gave her a different name in the. What the hell is I? So in the credits, they gave her
someone's Brian.
They gave her Brian Latrobe or so. But if you search for that, they will lead you to Tabitha Brace. It's because there was
that makes sense.
Yeah. The other person
she was singing on the first album, wasn't she? She was singing on the first album. And probably the second album, if I look at it.
Oh, what track?
Die for You.
No. Which no, you said she was singing on the
on the first album. It's one of the up tempos. It's one of the up tempos near the end of the album on the first album.
Okay. Yeah, it's AK Tabitha Brace. But But anyway. Yeah, well, definitely we could start going into so our top 10. So good that we've got 3 albums. Oh, she did a lot of background singing. And actually, if she's in any of my top 10, if the song is in my top 10, I will give my my opinion on Die for You. But yeah, the fact is what we're gonna do for those who are just joining us for the first time, we are going to go from 10 down to 1. And I know there are 13 tracks on the album, but what will happen is that it helps us keep the mystery of what our favorite track on the album is. So starting from and then so you guys, as we start at 10, you guys think you're 10, then we'll all go around down to number 1. And when we get to number 1, we will sort of count down to what we have. I have my stuff on the playlist. So at number 10 for me, even though I mentioned that I think this should have been this could have been one of the first singles. Thanks for a Great Time Last Night. There was a lot of, it reminded me, I mean, I'm listening to it and I don't know who Kevin Dean is, and you guys can explain who he is, but I get I felt like this was a track that Michael could have sang. Even the way Al sang, it felt like the falsetto and stuff. Um, there were elements of with the drum patterns gave me elements of, say, Sound of Blackness. So it was almost like a Jimmy and Terry type of production when he did for them. Um, there was a part when he was singing "Give It Here, Don't Say Nothing." And I remember, if you remember, Keith Sweat's "Your Love Part 2," the instrumentals with Teddy saying "Give It Here," and I don't know if they're sampling a particular track, but I was just hearing that. Okay.
It's my gosh, I Gotcha by Joe Tex. Just give it here, don't say no. That's
okay.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, that's the stuff. Yeah, Your Love, yeah. But so that was but even though I have it at number 10, I still said that this could have been one of the Michael Jackson, Mr. Villon. It was Michael Jackson. I was saying, even though I had it at number 10, I felt like either this one or Kick in the Head would have been a lot more radio friendly at 92. For I'll Be Sure to really go through. So that was at number 10 for me. Is Thanks for a Great Time Last Night.
Nice.
That's a great choice. I mean, there's and I mean this very rare, I think, where we can say that there's not a bad track on this album, and that's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So fantastic choice, Namdi. For me, number 10, Howie T production. It's Papes in the End. It's a nice track. I like it. It just, if you're going out, it's probably a good song to have in your playlist. I think maybe. I like it.
Okay.
Howie T, Papes in the End.
Okay. Stevie, what's number 10 for you?
Right, Miss Swabion is confirming, because we want to get this right, don't we? It's confirming that Brion, and I'm going to go on Discogs because I want to know who this girl is. Was she in a girl group? Because her voice is so familiar. I need to know who this girl is. Brion Lathorpe. Anything in Discogs coming up? Have I spelt her name right? I have. Yeah, nothing's coming up. Hold on, I've spelled her name
she's
wrong,
also known. She's also Brion Lathorpe is also known as Tabitha Brace, according to
that was the Tabitha Brace. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a secret name.
Yeah, because on Discogs, you can't see that on the picture of Tabitha comes up on her artist page.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love Tabitha, man. Tabitha,
she's
man.
under the alias. Yeah. Wow. So it is.
Tabitha.
So we're all right then. We're all right. So Miss Swabion was right. We were right as well. So all good. Anyway, let's get to number 10. I chose the third single, the third and final single. I Don't Want to Cry. I remember at the time it coming out as a single with a remix. It didn't, even though I got it, it didn't jump out at me. I think his vocal kind of gets lost. The chorus, the actual vocal gets lost in the production. It doesn't come across, I don't know, too strong, and maybe that reason, but it's a good track. It's, but third single, I'm not sure, but it's still in my top 10. It's good enough to make my top 10 anyway. So there it is. It's made number 10. Only number 10, I'm afraid.
Okay. Yeah, no, she Tabitha Brace isn't one of the good girls, but the girls are the good girls, but she did sing background as well. Yes.
And Tabitha Brace used to also be in a group called Key West. On Uptown. So it was Tabitha, Terry Robinson, and Carl West, which is the connection, which links her to this particular project in a very specific way, and Dominic Trenier, who we've spoken about before, who discovered D'Angelo.
Okay, I need to listen to the Carl West and then find out what he said about why the group didn't succeed. Okay, yeah, we will get to Kilmar Griffin from Three Boys from Newark, who added something different to the album. Andrew, what
did we go to Newark? Did we go to Newark, BJ? Andrew went to Newark, didn't we? Did we go to Newark, New Jersey? We did.
Yes,
We've been
Newark,
to
New
Newark.
Jersey. We did. That's where the what's it called? The arena is, the Prudential Center, to see the Rockefellers. Yeah, we were in
We've been to
Newark.
Newark.
We were three boys in Newark.
We were indeed.
I'm so witty. Speaking of witty, I'm just doing this now because I've always loved this. And if Albie Shore shows up, I'm not doing it. But because he's not here yet, or isn't here, period, I just got to do this because I love this line. Some of you guys might remember this. And then I'll go into my top 10. And then I want to read your mind, know your deepest feelings. I want to make it right for you. Let me show you. Let me share the mystery. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Listen to your heart tonight. Yeah, yeah. I just loved when Albie did that on Secret Garden, and Michael Jackson, of course, was supposed to do that part, but Albie killed it. So anyway, Albie, if you're out there and you're listening, I hope you were honored by that. But I always loved that verse. All right, now my heart starts pounding.
Well, there you really hit them notes there. You really hit them notes there, mate. You really hit them.
Thank you. I just love that. You have no idea. You do have the idea now. All right. So number 10 for me is Channel J from Private Times. And it was reworked into See the Lady. And that's some early Devante happening there. And yeah, there isn't a bad, well, for me, a not so good song on the album that I always skip. You'll find out later. But everything else is just fire. So See the Lady, even though it's number 10, come on, dude. I would not hit skip. No way.
You think anyway, they did the remake of that from Channel J to See the Lady now? Is it that he loved, and I probably should have asked Kyle, but well, he only worked on the See the Lady while Devante did the original. But why do you guys think he put it back on?
I think because it should have been a single off the first on that second album. I think Channel J is very good. Again, another great album. I mean, how many good songs have you got on that second album? So Channel J was a great track, and I think they, sometimes a song just resonates. They think we want to keep this alive, so they did it again. And See the Lady could easily have been like very, very high on my list. Fantastic track.
Okay, not a problem. Up to number 9. Number 9 for me. Yeah. So as I said, if I think of this album, there's always one song that sort of becomes that defines the album for me. I see the album, I heard this song, and that's Natalie. And it was on heavy rotation on BT in 92 when I moved to the States. And so and that's actually the song that got me to buy the album, hearing it. But I think listening to all the other songs, and also the fact that there was a mismatch between the videos, the one on the video, the one on the album, and the talking, it just doesn't flow as it probably should. And so Natalie becomes number 9 for me. I think that the plan was to put it on the Strictly Business soundtrack, but they didn't get it down on time. But I just didn't, and I thought, if they could have done it, I didn't think it needed to be one of the first 2 singles. I just didn't think it was, it was going to grab radio at the same way it would have if it come out a year earlier. So Natalie's at number 9 for me.
Wow. You didn't feel it flowed like it should.
Yeah, but it evokes memories. I listen to it and I see the album, and it's always the first song that comes to mind. But when I've listened to the album recently, over the past couple of weeks, there are other songs that actually evoke stronger feelings for me.
Wow.
But yes, but it's a beautiful track. It's not a bad track. It's just that I have other songs that I would probably play a lot more today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My number 9, produced by Keama Griffin and Albie Shaw, features Ike Lee on keys. Just saying that out loud just makes me
Yep.
smile a lot. I can't help it. Ike Lee on keys. What a magician he is on keys. Then you got Chub Rock and Grand Pooba on this. My number 9 obviously is Ooh For You Girl, and samples the incredible Bob James Take Me to the Mardi Gras from 75. And the way that sample just sounds perfect on this. It's just brilliant. And that's my number 9.
There's that song it was like an Easter egg. What was the Easter egg from a previous song?
Yeah, there is something in there from something else I do remember. Can you sing the bit you're talking about, Namdi?
No, I can't. After night singing, no.
You
Rescue
can.
Me.
You can.
Can we vote? Yeah, everybody vote.
No, I can't. Like, I have to. I can't. But it's Rescue Me. If you listen, do you wanna rescue?
Yes, of course.
Nice.
Do rest. Yeah. So it was like
Yeah. Good call.
So I'm listening to. I'm thinking, oh, that's Rescue Me. I wrote down Rescue Me Part 2. So yeah.
Nice.
Cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. So yeah. So that definitely a good one. Okay, Stevie, what about you?
I went for the track that does sound like it should have been on the previous album. I think it does sound slightly dated. It sounds like a 91 swing track rather than end of 92. But it's See the Lady, but I do like the track. Wanna see the lady, bum bum. I do like it a lot, actually. Could have been a lot higher in my chart, but it's made my number 10. You know, it has made my number 10.
Okay.
But like you say, it's very similar to Channel J. So
see the
you know, they got two.
No, it was
songs
not similar. It was the whole. It was the same song. It was just
they got 2 tracks out of it. You know, and added another track on. So why not? Eh? Why they could have left it unreleased, and you know, it could have, you know, would have all have been saying, why didn't they release that track? So at least they put it out. So thank you, Mr. Albee, for putting it out.
Okay.
Wanna see the lady.
He says it was work from Rescue Me and Tevins Just Asked Me to. I don't even know that song. Was that the first album? I need to listen to that Tevin Campbell album.
Incredible.
Just Ask Me To was on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack, and I love that song. It was summer '91, yo. Yeah, you got to hear that one. It's fire. It's great.
Carl, break it down.
Yeah. That album, though, my God, like 13, 14-year-old Tevin, and I thought, who is this kid on Quest Records? Quincy Jones has signed him up. Who is this kid? He must be pretty special. And boy, Tevin Campbell was just incredible. That first album was magic.
Yeah, it is funny that Cal West says, yeah, we you know, once we got the go ahead from Benny Medina to produce the 3/4 songs for Tevin, we went and picked him up from school. Took it to the record. And I'm thinking, you just pick the kid up from school, go record a song, and he goes back to school. Oh man. We got Mohammed out from Kuwait, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But Mohammed is a trooper, so we appreciate you being part of it. Andrew, what is number 9 for you?
Super quick. This is an Aura ring, so it's more of a fitness tracker thing.
Before you answer, Hopeful has said, Did you get married over the holiday?
Not yet. This is a foreshadow. With that said, so my number 9, believe it or not, is aligned with somebody else in this podcast, and that is Natalie. So even though Natalie is one of the like trademark tracks on the album, it to me is also it's also no, Stevie is so disappointed. No, it's just a number 9, man. I'm sorry. And also really quick factoid: the Boys did a similar thing. They had a song called "Funny" on the second album, and then on The Saga Must Continue, they have "Funny 92." So it's crazy how both Al B and the Boys like took a song from the previous album and remixed it for like a newer audience. But I guess in both cases, they didn't end up singles. But I still like both. I like all 4. I like all 4 tracks. So anyway.
Okay, yeah, but Natalie, okay, yeah, it's and I think what happens when an album, Colin says, I'm stunned. Colin, no, as I said, when I started, it was up and then it kept sliding down because I'm listening to the. It's hard to do this in 2026 from a '92 album because your '92 self would have had it higher up, but when you're listening to it now you're bound to change and appreciate things differently. Number 8 for me is another single that I listened to, and I thought at the time I didn't remember the feature on this album, but then what did I write down here? Um, I wrote down that I love the drums on this. And I didn't, and I recognized that. But so Kevin Dean, from to those of us who don't know him, what kind of stuff has he done?
Thank you.
Lade. He's worked with Lade, if you know them. He
Mm.
was heavy on the production during Andre Harrell's Motown era, so
Okay.
96, that around that time. He's a massive Beatles fan. I have long conversations with him about the Beatles, or I have in the past.
Did you do some on Mary J? Any Mary J mixes, or?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Something.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Sure
It would
he's
make
done
sense
a
for him to. Yeah, Kevin Dean's done a lot of stuff though. He's
Yes. I remember seeing his name a lot around.
And the reason I say that because there was something very distinctive about his production, especially the drums. And in a way that I was thinking that this album it was almost like, what direction are we going to? Because in '92 you had the Sounds of Blackness type of sound, Brand New Heavies, that type of sound, which this Kevin Dean guy did well on 3 of the tracks he did work with Al. And I thought if you went in that direction, you have a different market. But it was almost like they weren't too sure. But for number 8 for me, I had Kick in the Head, which I thought it could have been between that and Thanks for the Great Time Last Night, could have been a lead single, would have just said, oh goodness, Rakim. It was really, and then you can do remixes to it, but the original track I felt would have grabbed a lot of attention, would have great video with Rakim in it, would have done really well. So Kick in the Head at number 8 for me.
Kick in the
great
head.
choice. I'm not going to argue with you on that at all, because my number 8 is also Kick in the Head, and obviously it features Rakim, samples the Honey Drippers, Impeach the President from 1973. Fantastic. I love this song. I just wanted to carry on what you were saying about Kevin Dean. Just a couple of tracks that he did. He did Can't Have My Man with Alison Williams. Let's Get Right off Christopher Williams' Changes album. He did the song I've Been Waiting. I think that was Terry and Monica. Was that Terry and Monica off Poetic Justice? Mm-hmm. He did Deep Down by Lade, Billy Lawrence, Sounds of New York with Vertical Hold, and Angie Stone. Horace Brown, One for the Money. That was part of him.
Wow.
Written on Your Face, Color Me Bad, if you're into any of that. Atlantic Star. He's done a lot of stuff, but there you go. That's and he was also on Al B. Shaw's Honey, I'm Home. So I think somebody mentioned, why did Al B. Shaw not
Hold as well? Vertical Hold, Angie Stone.
Yeah,
you
mentioned it. So that was Benson asked, why did he just have 3 albums? But that was 3 on Warner Brothers, but Honey, I'm Home was on the Hidden Beach.
That was much later, though. I think.
Yeah.
As I think you guys touched upon it earlier. New Jack Swing was on its way out. I think Stevie, you might have mentioned it. So that was this album. And Al B. Shaw, if you think of Al B. Shaw, you think of him as Mr. New Jack. So I think this was maybe his time for a little while. And then he thought, you know what? 10 years after the fact, he thought, I'm going to drop another album, or whenever it was, whatever year that Honey I'm Home album was.
But that track he did on Above the Rim was good because he made a little comeback, didn't he? Well, not
Still
a comeback.
in Love, the Al Green remix. I'm not remix.
That was a nice track. That was very nice,
very nice.
But we're thinking about 92. The Barbie album came out in 92. And would we then be thinking about which had the more radio-friendly tracks, or which album sort of made a bigger mark. You know, I mean, remember they came out a month of each other in 88. They both albums, In Effect Mode and Don't Be Cruel, came out June of '88. So here they're bringing the follow-up albums the same year of '92, and so that's something that we can discuss at the end. But yeah, Stevie, what's number 8 for you?
Number 8 is actually "Ooh for You, Girl," the one that you noticed had a little cameo.
Rescue Me.
Yeah.
Easter egg of Rescue Me Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, another track I really like. Could have been higher. I do listen to that a lot in the old headphones. So good track, solid track for me.
Okay, Andrew.
I am loving the brain trust that is us. Beach, I've always called it the "Come and Talk to Me" beat. And now I know "Impeach the President." I've added it to my playlist. I effing love that beat. So thank you,
bro.
number one. That. So anyway, my number 8 is "I Don't Want to Cry." And I almost did the falsetto. But I was like, nah, let me pause for that. But no, it's a good song. It's just a good, solid song, you know. But it's number 8, and I never gets skipped. So that's all I got, man. I don't want to cry with you around. So yeah,
I don't want to cry, but yeah. That's my number 7. I didn't. That's number 7 for me. What did I put in? I don't want to cry. I felt it was another track that I did put down. I put down Brand New Heavies. I felt that they were influenced by how Kevin Dean was doing his drums. I did say that it reminded me of a Jimmy Terry type of stuff that they were doing a little bit more, you know, a little as well. That's the other thing I put in there. Did it not have "Give It Here"? Don't say.
Yeah. Give it to me. Ow! Like in the very beginning, and then the saxophone comes in. Yeah,
I don't want to cry. Yeah. It's actually, that's why I said there were 4 tracks that did sound. That's Jimmy Terry Sound of Blackness-ish type of drum beat stuff, and I'm thinking you could have gone that direction, and then Warner Bros. Could have pushed it into a different market.
Yeah.
But then there were other tracks that were almost trying to capture a different audience, and I think without Benny Medina at the helm, it becomes quite a difficult album to push without Uptown being associated with it and hitting the radios and stuff.
I gotta say something, Namdi. So one of my biggest frustrations ever was when I went and discovered back retroactively the Private Times and Whole Nine album, and I heard "So Special" for the first time. I was like, why was this not a single? What the? And then on YouTube, it's literally it's the top song on that album in his whole discography, right? I feel like the singles campaign for the second album was not A&R'd properly. It was like going towards one audience when a song like "So Special" was absolutely in the vein of your original album, and that song is arguably one of his best songs, in my opinion, of all time. What? So when you talk about
we need to do that album,
we need to do that album. Wait, what's that? We got to do that album next? Okay.
Do the album 10 to 1 as well. We need to do that.
But it's just, why are you going over here when you've got all these people over here who are ready for what you have?
Yeah.
That's "So Special" is anyways. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I had to get that out.
Yeah. And you know, he was pushed in many directions, as Kyle would say, and he was doing his Jodeci stuff. He was working with
Tevin,
but also what's the white guy that
Jordan.
No. David Bowie.
David Bowie. He was
was
doing a lot of different things, and I think Carl says the music kind of wasn't the main focus, and you then have to make a decision. Do you follow Eddie and Uptouchables and Uptown, Let's Keep a Sound, or do you just experiment here and there And he and Carl were an amazing production team, but then Carl didn't do as many tracks on the second album, and so there was just so much happening. But anyway,
I think there's something there as well, like with what you've just said there, Namdi. Albie Shaw worked with David Bowie,
Yeah.
Diana Ross, Quincy
Yeah.
Jones, Barry
Yeah.
White, all
Yeah.
like I'm just saying, Albie
He
Shaw
was
could
on
easily
another
have been-
level.
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
He
yeah,
could have
yeah,
been on
yeah.
Mary's level. You know, Mary worked with George Michael and
Later on, though, this was after she left the Diddy and like
he
signed
could
with
easily have
Geffen.
gone that way. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like he was already like the famous thing about David Bowie I love is that Coldplay approached him to do a song, and he said, "No, it's a rubbish song. Why would I want to work on this song?" But he wanted to work with Albie Shaw. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that says a lot about Albie Shaw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And the irony is, dare I say, that song that they did together wasn't very good, I'm afraid. Wasn't very
Yeah,
memorable.
but you know,
I'm just being
yeah.
honest. Wasn't very
Yeah, well.
memorable at all.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Diana Ross one was though. I that's one of the
love
strongest songs on the album.
Yeah, yeah.
No matter
yeah.
what you do. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
I think they resample that in this album as well. The sound, the and I forgot to record that one, but I think to get Diana Ross to work with Bowie, to work with Al Green and all that stuff, it just says that actually he was catapulted to a different level at a time, and hence it just shows there was a difference from the guy who's from could have been on Uptown. So anyway,
Marco shared something good there as
he
well.
says he also worked with Rod Stewart.
That's great. You're right, Marco, and
Al Green.
and Al Green as well. Great. Like Albie Shaw could have been
One of
mega.
Grammy.
He could have been mega.
1987 Sony Innovators. I mean, I think he came in just kind of blessed. Like he came in kind of like at the top already, and it's like. Yeah. Anyway, legend. If you're listening, you know this, so we're giving you the
yeah,
just so you know.
Who's next? Who's next? It would be VJ then.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. So is it number 7?
Yeah, number 7.
Number 7, mid-tempo banger for me, produced by Albie Shaw and Kevin Dean. I love that Kevin Dean's on this album. This was early Kevin Dean, as we mentioned multiple times now. Thanks for a great time last night. That's my number 7. Fantastic track. And I could arrange any of these tracks in any order and I'd be okay with it. They are all brilliant. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
That's my number 7. Today. Tomorrow it's number 1. I'm just saying it's number 7 today.
Do you know what they said? Red Bliss mentioned that No Matter would have been, but Diana snubbed the video. You can always release a video without her. You could always do a silhouette. You could if you want to release a single, man, you can release a single. But to get her on a track, yeah. Okay, all right. So, Stevie,
number 7. Again, I wasn't sure where to put this. It could have been my top 5. It's between, I think it might have originally been in my top 5, but I moved it out for another ballad. It's got a killer chorus. And I'm just thinking, was it something to do with a Jodeci track of the same title, You and I? So I've gone for number 7, You and I again. Killer chorus. It has that Jodeci You and I vibe about it, which I do love. But I might be kicking myself thinking this should have been in my top 5 now, but it's a great track.
Yeah, man.
Track.
Dude, when I tell you, when we do the final list, you'll see where I've put it. I'm embarrassed. I could easily have been my number 1.
You and I.
Yeah,
you and I.
You got Ickley on drum programming on that track. You're
Really?
done, man. Yeah, Ickley's doing the drum programming on that.
Okay, so for those of us who might not be familiar with Ickley, I know the 3. I know both Vincent Herbert and Kimo from 3 Boys from Newham. But who is Ickley?
Ickley, he's 3 Boys from New York. He did.
So he's one of the 3 boys.
He's one of the 3 boys.
So
He He also did. This you'll find interesting.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think we
right,
mentioned this
sorry.
before.
He just yeah.
He produced This Should Move Your album by Mantronics. The only song, I believe, one of two songs he didn't produce. One of them was Got to Have Your Love, but Mantronics album was his. That was him. He also did the East Coast remix of Ultramagnetic MC's Big Popper. And if I go down the New Jack Swing R&B route, Ike Lee his name is way up there.
Okay.
Way up there. He's
So actually,
What was that? What was that group from the mid-90s that didn't come out that had Faith Evans in it?
forgot
Forgot the name. How can we forget the name? Deja Groove.
Deja Groove. Yeah.
There was 1, 2. There's a group called 1, 2, 3. Want to check that out? He did that as well.
1, 2, 3. Yeah,
1, 2, 3 did it.
But that was CK Blunt Productions. So that was interesting because Ike Lee and Keama Griffin moved away from Vincent Herbert for a moment, and they worked with Christopher Williams, and they created something called CK Blunt Productions. And it's all full circle because Vincent Herbert was introduced to the music industry by Christopher Williams. So it's all connected, and it's that was the 1, 2, 3 album was all done by CK Blunt Productions.
Okay. But I don't know what. So I wonder if they renamed themselves Three Boys from Newark after working with Albie Shaw, because if the three of them are on You and I, but they weren't credited as Three Boys from Newark. Oh, Andrew, are you saying something? You just muted. Okay.
Oh, I'm singing with the mic off to make sure.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
It would be around that same time, Namdi. I think it would be around that time. So that name must have come in around that time.
Okay.
So 92. It's got to be 92.
Okay.
At some point.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. All right, Andrew, you're next, number 7.
Never sung this in my life. What's the use in calling when there's no love calling? Why are we wasting time playing games? So playing games is at number 7. Yeah, strong track. So you know. Whoa.
Yeah, the one Devante Swing track on there.
Boom.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
Need it.
That's number 7. So number 6 for me was You and I. And now, of course, people did start saying that, was he redoing the You and I that Jodeci did? But for me, it sounded different, although it took some elements from it. But because it was and at first I thought, did he get Devante to do the production? Until you read the credits, and it was the Three Boys from Newark doing the production on it. We've got to give credit to Albie Shaw he writes pretty much everything unless he sings a cover, but he does the lyrics for all his tracks. But it was co-written by Keama Griffin. But You and I, Forever and Ever, is at number 6 for me.
Nice.
Yes. Wow. All right, VJ.
With where you guys have placed You and I feel like such an arsehole, man. I put it in the wrong place, man. It's such a good song.
It is a good song, man. It is a good song.
It's produced and anyway, my number 6, produced by Albie Shaw and Carl West. There was an incredible remix of this one. There's some incredible remixes of this. It's called This Is I Don't Want to Cry, the 3rd single. I bought this song and I was trying to get into it on the single, but at the time I wasn't vibing with it. But when I did, I didn't put that record down. It took me a little while to get into it because I bought it. And when I did, my God, those remixes are marvelous. I Don't Want to Cry is a great single. And yeah, that's my number 6.
Wow.
I Don't Want to Cry. Okay.
There's a nice remix on there if you get a chance to listen to it by Albie Shaw and Timar. Timar, I thought was a lot of people thought was Timbaland, but Timar is a guy called Tim Rouse. I don't know what else he's done, but he's done 2 remixes for Albie Shaw on this album.
Okay, Stevie, what's number 6 for you?
The bizarrely titled Kick in the Head.
Okay, a little bit higher up for you.
Bum-ba-dum. Yeah, I like this track. It's higher than You and I, but again, it's a good. Some of these up tempos, a couple of the up tempos, especially this one, and Turn You. Well, I'd say this one remind me of, if any of you've listened to N Touch's second album, the up tempos on them, which are very heavy, funky based. They kind of remind me as that as well. So yeah, number 6 is Kick in the Head for me.
Okay.
Kick in the head, don't ba down.
Yeah, as I said, any song at 92 with Rakim, when he was, very scarce, should have been really taken and pushed up. It's almost like getting a Biggie track and not releasing it, or it just, that should have really made headlines like, oh, Rakim. Yeah. Knight, what about you? Number 6.
My number 6 would be higher if there wasn't this inexplicable incorporation of sounds in the song. And I'm being a little dramatic here, but I always thought of this album as a very big, awesome journey, a long journey. And this is the last ballad on the album. And it just feels like the ultimate end of, like, Heart of Stone, Please Don't Go. But why are there kids on a playground just screaming randomly in the beginning and the end? I'm like, this takes me out of it. I mean, there's a certain innocence and beauty, but it's still like, nah, you didn't need this, man. Anyway, I'll Never Hurt You Again. It would be higher. I wanted to rate it higher, but then those little kids, yeah, like randomly, I'm like, what? You're banished at number 6. You almost made it to like the top 3 probably, but I just couldn't do it, man. But everything else about the song is just, it's epic.
I understand. Okay.
Love you, Albie. Just so you know, I love you, man.
I was interested to wonder what y'all made of that track, actually, because, like you say, it was the last track. It didn't. I'll be honest, it didn't make my top 10, but I was just interested. What you said, actually.
He said it was either the kids or the rain falling.
And now he knows it's the kids.
But I was going to say, like, for me, that's my number 13. I'll just say that. That's my number 13.
Same me, 13.
But if I turn my list upside down, I'd be okay with that too. I'm just saying, it's a great song. I'll Never Hurt You Again. And I understand what you mean about that. Like my pet peeve on certain songs, like, when you have like a song and it's like, they're like, don't be, like they repeat themselves. I'm like, why are you repeating yourself? Just say it once and get on with the next bit, man. So there are certain things about that period where they did weird stuff. Kids in the playground, it just seemed like, I don't know what that was about.
I think Namdi's got that one pretty high up, actually. I'm surprised that he's got that one very high up.
He's smug, he's quiet, he's a bit quiet.
It shouldn't surprise everyone. I would love to hear the Sexy Versus session that didn't make the cuts.
Oh, yeah.
My number 5 is, I love the production of this, and I loved Isles for how he sang this. I just think that Tabitha did not compliment him on the track. I felt in one way she made the track sound a lot current for 92, like urban, like think of an Escape. I'm listening to her sing and I'm thinking about Candy from Escape. But I felt that if he had gotten a more, Faith Evans or Mary singing Die For You alongside him, it would have really pushed it. I'm listening to her singing, and I was a little frustrated that you're not really pushing it. It's almost like we couldn't find, Mary backed out, so we just get, okay, just go ahead and sing. It just felt that she wasn't up to the track. She wasn't up for the production. Cal West, what did I put down here? I just said stronger vocals because I love the production, love the song, loved Albie showing it, but I just didn't think she carried the song. If she did, it would have been higher. But that was the only thing that gets me. And actually, I put it low and I kept listening to it. I'm like, I love this song, but I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh goodness, you don't have it. You don't have it. So
Wow.
anyway, Die for You is at number 5. Would have been number 1, or it would have been number 2 or 3 if you have vocals were stronger. More Redbridge
Wow.
says Mary was booked up. I mean, do you guys? I mean, what did you think of her vocals? Or did you think she carried the track? I mean,
I'm saving it. I'm
Okay.
biting my tongue so hard.
okay,
All
no,
right.
I know. Okay, VJ, what's number 5 for you?
Number 5 had some great remix. Well, I won't say great, not my bag really. There were some remixes by Richie Sambora, also a great remix by Albie Shaw and Carl West. My number 5, produced by Albie Shaw and Carl West. It's obviously Natalie. And interesting about this song, Halle Berry, when she came on the scene in '92, there must have been quite a buzz around her. And the fact that they got her onto this Strictly Business film.
No, she was. This was her. I think it was her first stop. She was not doing. She
It was
had
at the beginning. It was the early beginning of her career.
Yeah.
But think about it. Father MC did a song called Go Natalie, which was meant to be on that soundtrack. Then there's a track called Natalie Here, which should have been on the soundtrack. There's no songs related to Natalie on the actual soundtrack. So, yeah, they were trying to... People must have been submitting stuff for that soundtrack, and then they thought, it won't fit here, so we're going to put it on here.
No, Father said that he didn't get it completed on time. And I need to listen to the interview with Carl West. I think that they recorded it for it, but there was a deadline. I think they were.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
I think there was a deadline, and it was one of those. We've got time, but and then they thought it was an Uptown stuff, and the movie. I think the movie company says, "Guys, we need the album tomorrow," and they were thinking, we can delay it, and I think that's why those songs didn't make it.
And I think it's the same with the Father MC track produced by.
He said if he didn't get it on time.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. So Go Natalie's on the end of Close to You, and if you listen to Go Natalie, it's a very good song, but it doesn't really fit with the rest of the Close to You album, if that makes sense. It's just a little bit harder. It's a little bit more hip hop rather than that smooth R&B.
DJ, how exciting was it when that soundtrack came out with the Jeff Red 12? I can remember it like it was tomorrow when I went in Manchester Underground Records and got the album in the racks with the hype sticker on. I was like, this soundtrack with the Jodie C track on, the Mary Day, Stephanie Mills.
Yes,
what a
Strictly
soundtrack.
Business was like, it was exciting. It was very exciting. It was
it was really like the time, wasn't it?
And we weren't able to. We didn't have money to buy so many records. So we'd buy that album. I listened to that all week. All week.
Yeah.
All week. That was it. I don't think I did anything else that week.
Okay.
Very good album.
Stevie, what's number 5 for you?
This track, it's that moment on the album that. Does anybody remember on the second album a track called Shades of Grey? Very different, melodic sounding, just above mid-tempo. Well, it doesn't sound like that, but it feels like that moment in this album. And that's Thanks for a Great Time. Thanks for a great time. But it's a similar the effect that Shades of Grey had on the album previously. But I like this track a lot. It's just very memorable, quite melodic, just sticks in your head. Again, that could have been further up rather than at number 5, but I think it's a little gem, that track, actually. I think it's a little underrated gem. Thanks for a Great Time. And Namdi said it should have been a single, even though we put it at number 10.
I thought it, yeah, but no, because so there's a difference between when I think about the A&R trying to push a song that could get radio friendly, because it was when I say a Michael Jackson song, it sounded like stuff that Michael would put out, which can then hit a broad audience, and it was nice and melodic and everything, and the way he sang it, and as I said, what I was there, drums, Sound of Blackness, he had all this stuff going in there. It could have been a first single, would have easily hit radio and stuff like that. So more so that, but I've had 9 other songs I love better, But as an A&R person, I would have put that out. Yeah.
Love that objectivity, number one. And then number two, sorry to put you on the spot, Beach. Do you know the drum sample? Because other songs had that.
It was a big
song?
drum
Which song?
sample at the time.
Thanks for a great time. What
it was. I
is
heard
that
it in a
sample?
lot of hip hop tracks.
Yes.
Quite a few hip hop tracks.
I
Don't worry about it.
nothing
I'll
came
look it
up.
up later.
Nothing came up. I couldn't find anything. I was
Okay,
looking
but
for
I
that
love
one.
that. I love that sample. The Saga Must Continue. The Boys again has that same sample. But anyways, now I get to unleash the floodgates of me biting my tongue. At number 5, indeed, was also for me, Die For You. I have 3 main trains of thought on Die For You. And I'll start with the first one, the subject matter. So when I was a kid, you know, a teenager, the last thing I want to do is die. And I don't want to die for anyone, okay? So I feel like because Albie has a kind of like a younger sounding voice, it's a bit of a mismatch because when you look at the subject matter of Night and Day or Ooh, This Love Is So or Off on Your Own Girl, it's lighter. But now you're talking about I Want to Die For You, skirt. Like I feel like that's a number to pause. I think if you're more like a KC like vocalist, older audience, you can think about dying for somebody. But when you're younger, number one. Number two, it absolutely made me think of If Lovin' You's I Don't Want to Do Anything. Casey and Mary. It's a ballad, a duet. But I was going, this is a missed opportunity. You absolutely should have gotten a bigger name to sing with you, like with Diana. So my first thought, believe it or not, was another Warner Brothers artist. So I thought maybe Karen White, right?
Yeah.
But then I think she could have killed it. But then this could be controversial, but I'll just say it. So I remember hearing a lot about like, oh, light skin energy and dark skin, light skin brothers are making a comeback, right? And I think Chris Brown has reclaimed the throne for the light skin guys, right? But back in the late 80s, light skin was cool. So Albie was part of that whole thing, right? Get Shantae Moore. I know she's an MCA, but I feel like Shantae Moore and Albie in a video with that light skin energy, that song would have been massive, in my opinion. Die For You is a great, great song.
Yeah.
But it's just, but maybe change it from Die For You to something else. So change the subject matter, get like a bigger name, shoot a great video, and you're off to the races. But it's a great song.
The one thing you said about like when you're younger and you were saying about dying for you is not appropriate for somebody that's young. Like when you're younger, you want to express your love in such an extreme way. I would die for you, like that. You know what I mean? Like when you're younger, you want to give it all. Like you want to give your total self.
If I could jump in, I thought of that. I think when you're younger, you can say, if you leave me, I die, right? Like, oh, I'll die if they leave me. That, like, you know, I die without you. That's cool, right? But to actually say, no, I would die for you. Like, I would just trade places with you when you're like 16, 17. No one's doing that. Like, I think it's more like that's literal, in my opinion. I get it. But I feel like there is how many songs do you know of where people are saying, I would die for you? That's actually a hit.
Yeah, fair enough. And I found out that sample for you. Sorry. It's
you.
Melvin Bliss Synthetic Substitution from 1973.
Amazing. Thank you. Adding it to my phone. You're the man.
No, but you make an interesting point, and I did think about. I was in my head. I was thinking, who could have delivered a song? Karen was on Warner Brothers with him. Probably would have made a difference. It was definitely a mismatch, and it didn't sound as believable as much as a great song. Now, my favorite Jodeci track is, you know, as M. Mac would put out there, is Cry For You. But there's a way, as you said, Andrew, with that type of church voice that kind of sounds a lot more believable. Like, you know, Baby, I'm Begging. It feels as if, oh, goodness, man, that's definitely. But there was something about a mismatch in how that song was. It's high up, 5. But it could have been higher if we did have, somebody even mentioned a Jackie McGee bringing in some of that soul. I think he needed somebody to bring a different energy. Bryan Adams says
I did think of Bryan Adams, but it's like anything I'll do it for you. He just says that at the very end, but he didn't name it. I'll die for you like that. I don't know if that would have been number 1 in 91. Anyways, thank you guys.
All right. Yes. Okay. Number 4 for me is what did I put down here? Yes. So, and this one had another Easter egg from his in effect mode. Um, produced by it. Oh goodness, I think yeah. So it was playing games. So that's the track. But there's an Easter egg in one of the lyrics. He says here that was in effect mode. If you can remember, if that means you guys would have listened to the song and then had a throwback to okay, I'll give you the song Rescue Me and Playing Games. There's a lyric that he uses in Playing Games that comes from Rescue Me song.
Listen, man, I thought that we were all geeks, but you are taking it to another level today. You win, man.
No.
He's done his homework.
He's done his homework.
It's all you today, baby.
Hearts don't lie. So he uses the lyrics.
Yeah.
Hearts don't lie.
Nice.
He said it twice in this, but but he got it from Rescue Me. Well, he rewrote it from Rescue Me. What I put down for this was, I think of every track produced by Devante, I think this was a time when they just said, "Okay, Devante, do you know how to play keyboards? Prove it to us." This was a Devante Swing masterclass on keyboard. It was almost like, okay, this was him playing the keyboards and I'll just singing a few tracks in there. I was like, he was just going through it. I think Eddie Effers said that Devante just has keyboards stacked and he's just playing. And I'm listening to this. I'm thinking, wow, none of his Jodeci stuff that he plays the keyboards this crazy as he did on Playing Games. And I think if you listen to go listen to Playing Games again, and you just see Devante just going mad over this particular track. But loved it. So that's number 4 for me is Playing Games, written by Albie Shaw and produced by Devante Swing. Keyboard masterclass is what I said there. And also listen to Albie Shaw says Hearts Don't Lie, and then listen to Rescue Me, and then you see that he's like, hey, Easter eggs from the beginning, going back to the basics. Funny, I had the lyric used in a couple of songs. Yes. So yeah, that's I think All I See is a big favorite song for me from Christopher Williams, but he doesn't do with Teddy Take It to the Bridge and he'll do a little solo stuff. Devante was doing that throughout this stuff, and he was, it was almost like if he had a guitar and he was just doing one of those slash type of solo stuff throughout. It just felt like that with this. He just felt like he was just at another level. 2 minutes of Playing Games was fire. The last 2 minutes, and that's when Devante went wild. Yeah, I was just saying the last two minutes of it. Just listen to the end of it, and he's just All right. Oh, sorry. I'll just keep it off for a little bit. As Hopeful has said, I kind of take it off and bring it out, and people can't read. Yeah.
I can't really top that, Namdi.
He talks about death. We gotta live
our lives and die. Why is everyone gonna die in this scenario?
Yeah, but yeah.
And I found a big song that was talking about dying in 1992, 91, 92, I think it was. PM Dawn, I'd Die Without You.
I die without you.
He mentioned
I said that.
Oh, you mentioned
what I
it.
said, but it was more of an expression, I can't breathe, breathe again. Like I die without you, which is different than like if you leave, I die. Not like I'll just volunteer myself to die.
Prince B wasn't talking metaphorically, was he? I thought he was like saying like I'd die without you. Like if you weren't there, there'd be nothing left. That's what it felt like to me. It felt so impassioned, man.
Everyone can relate to that. Like when you love someone so much and they leave, you don't know what you do. But I don't want to be combative. I'm sorry. You're right. No, I'm just. You're right, Prairie Dog, but we don't want to think about it.
So my number 4 is the same song as you, Namdi, produced by Devante and Albie Shaw. It's Playing Games. The hook is insane. The song is insane. The keyboard solo is bananas. I love this song. I can't add anything to what you've said and what Andrew said earlier. You guys you've summed that song up absolutely brilliant. I was going to say about a couple of comments. Sauvignon, you mentioned about Deja Groove. Yes, Deja Groove was on Kedar's label, so he was the executive producer, but he wasn't the music producer. And also, Stevie, you asked about Mary J. Blige's involvement with Kevin Dean. Kevin Dean did Deep Inside. That's what he did.
Oh wow! Dum
For Mary,
dum dum dum.
I love that with the Elton John sample.
Inside. Yeah, wow.
That's Kevin Dean. So
okay. Oh, it's Stevie, number 4.
Something to think about, guys. A question I'm going to just put to you for after we finish this top 10. We actually did an I'll Be Sure overall podcast top 10 a while back where you could do a top 10 from any of his albums. And I'm just looking at that. I've got it up. And only one track from this album makes my fight. So have a think on this album. If you had to compile an overall, including all the other albums, your favourite track, how many tracks, if any, would make your complete I'll Be top 10? I'll ask you later on that. But anyway, my number 4, it's bingo. It's bingo for VJ Namdi and myself. And like this,
wow.
Originally you and I was at number 4, but I actually kicked that out and put Playing Games there. So we've got a bingo going on here. Number 4.
that's crazy.
Bingo.
But yeah. Are we gonna have
For Jeff Beers? For Jeff Beers, number 4. There you go.
Andrew, what about you? What's number 4?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I had that one at number 7, but I'll keep it educational. So someone said that Class Act, that Kid and Play movie, to die is to have a sexual orgasm. And of course, in France, it's Le Petit Mort, or Little Death. But I learned a term in life from the title of this song. And I like this song because of where it is on the album. It's perfectly sequenced after another jam. And there's a kind of like a boom, 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 bass. And then all of a sudden there's these like different like beats. And all of a sudden it goes boom, boom. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't have turned you out. And if I didn't care, you know, without a doubt. Yeah. You better tell him hit the road. Sorry. Turn around. Anyway, Turn You Out. That song is like, for me, absolutely number 4. I don't know if it would be a single, but I like that song. It's just catchy. It's why you chasing me? Why the hell you got a butter knife? Right? Like that was like is she gonna stab him with a butter knife? Anyways, I'm being totally random, but there's just something about that song that is just catchy to me. And yeah, baby, everything is just, if I can give a damn, you know, right now. Like I just love Turn You Out. So that's my number 4. Say You Didn't Know Me. And then like, is that, it sounds like he's imitating Slick Rick the whole time. I was like, is that Slick Rick on there or is he imitating him? Either way, love it.
Well, Slick is on there. He's featured.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good. Yeah, you better tell him hit the road. So,
yeah,
there it is.
But Easter egg. This is a remake from a song on In Effect Mode.
In Effect Mode.
You just sang it in the chorus.
Oh, I did. Okay,
If
well,
I'm Not Your Lover.
Oh, is it okay? It's in there.
So if you listen to it, it is almost remaking "If I'm Not Your Lover, If I'm Not Your Friend." That's why you go Slick Rick back on it.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You did it with Slick Rick in the.
But I literally did not know the term "turn somebody out" until that song. So now I know that if you want to just like literally like, I didn't know you could do that. Like you could actually go and just like do it so well that they're sprung on you now. Like that's power. Sorry, I'm just being real. So like now I know you turn somebody out is like a concept, and I love you, wouldn't turn you out. So all good. Stop tripping.
When Kyle West says they wanted to go back to the first album, they literally almost went back and did some remakes of the first album. So yeah. Turn You Out is featuring Slick Rick. If I'm Not Your Lover, featuring Slick Rick, and it just says "If I'm Not Your Girl," and it just it was almost like let's just update that track.
Like a sequel.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Okay. Down to the top 3.
See what Dave was saying. Dave said something interesting there.
Yeah, remember that Al and Slick did "If I'm Not Your Lover" remix, and that's why, as I said, he brought Slick Rick back on this track, and it just evokes the same memory of it.
Cool.
Number 3 for me. Oh goodness, I've always loved this track, and it's just so different. I don't think you guys gave it much love. At one point it got to number 1, but then it kind of went back to number 3. Papes in the End. I just loved the whole the whole Albie Shaw rapping. Doesn't sound like him at first. I'm thinking who's rapping, and the Howard T production is just bananas. I just thought it's just one of my favorite happy. The only issue was I don't know who Greg is. Greg Tonice. It was almost like I've searched everywhere and I couldn't find who she is. I felt she really held that track down with her flow. I'm surprised she wasn't featured anywhere else.
Who is it? Who did you mention there, Namdi?
Greg. She's called Greg. What was she listed at? Greg to the Head. She was the female Vogue rapper. She's called Greg to the Head.
Was it not Lady Kazam?
No one knows.
She was the female rapper who was working with Howie T at the time. I'm sure it's Lady Kazam.
Okay. But she wasn't. But do you have the album there? What's it? What's it?
I'm trying to look for the credits because there's no actual credit. Oh, let me just see.
Yeah. She was the main girl. Greg is in a Right Now video.
Greg to the Head.
Is she? Greg is in a Right Now video.
Lead vocals. I'll be short and Greg to the Head.
Sorry, I'm looking at M Max shot glass. I guess
what did you say?
Your first round for 2026.
What did Dyer say here? It says Greg said was an upcoming rapper discovered by Al, but she was really good. I just she was really good. I really loved the song. From the first time I've heard it, I've just really enjoyed the whole flow of it, and so I just think that I don't know what happened, why she didn't. I don't know if Tony has some inside knowledge. He says she used to date Eddie Murphy, but I will look at the Right Here video and see if she is the one that's there. Even Dyer has collaborated. Yes, she was in Right Now video. So yeah, all right, but she could rap as well. Okay, so that's number 3 for me. Papes to the in the end. Yes, VJ, what's number 3 for you?
I was going to say a shout out to Brandon, and his number 1 song was Papes in the End, and I just wanted to say that in honor of your number 3, Namdi.
Wow, so he got to somebody's number 1. Oh, okay.
Somebody made it. That was their number 1. So
okay.
I thought you'd find that interesting. Number 3 for me, produced by Devante, Albie Shaw, and Carl West. That as a sentence is just beautiful. I love it. And this could easily have been my number 1. Easily. As could Playing Games. It didn't. It's Channel J of Albie's Private Times Reincarnated. It's See the Lady. I love it. It's so
high. You rate it high.
It's so good.
Wow.
See the Lady's brilliant. I love it. Listen to
Okay.
it again, man. Yeah.
And Max, sorry. Brandon.
And it features Chub Rock, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah. Chop. Okay. So we're laughing because
I want to know.
Ed Mac is
Get the Jeff Beers in.
Well, yeah, but we've got, yeah. Come on, the New Jack Kid loves Papes to the End as
That's
well.
Brandon. That's Brandon.
Oh, that's Brandon. Okay, well done,
That's
Brandon.
Brandon. Shout out to Brandon.
Stevie, what about you? What's number 3?
Originally, this was going to be my number 2, but spoiler alert, it's been moved up to number 3 by an up tempo. But number 3 is Natalie. I really rate this track.
Wow.
I just get lost, completely lost in this track. Da, 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 da. Natalie. Oh, I love the production. Oh, amazing. I listened to it so much back then. But yeah.
Do you prefer the original or the remix?
The original. The original.
Okay.
Mind you, I've got to remind myself of the remix, but it's the original for me.
Original's fantastic.
Definitely. Yeah. It's Kyle West, a bit of Kyle West magic in it, really.
Okay. Andrew, what about you?
So this one surprised me. I thought it was going to be number 1, but then when I searched my feelings, Luke, I then realized it was not number 1, it's number 3. And it kind of goes something like this. You're feeling kind of right now, honey. Ooh, sexy, yeah. You're feeling kind of right now, sugar. You make me want to smile. You're feeling kind of right now, honey. Don't you go nowhere. So don't you ever go away. Do, 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 do. I like what you're wearing, baby. You're soft as the morning cloud. You can get me going up and down. Oh no. Anyway, right now is I want to do the if you want to see me perp. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to scare you guys. But it's a great song. Don't waste time and just please me. There's so much swagger in those lyrics. Soak up all of my affection. You know what he says? All of my, it's like New York, right? All of my affections. Baby, gonna learn my lesson. Tevin was like, hey, don't take my song. But anyway, right now at
that was
number
another
3.
Easter egg.
Yes,
that's another
totally.
Easter egg. That lyric is from another album.
Be alone with you, and there's nothing else I'd rather do. Come on. I just want the chance I had again. You know, just us two till the end. And that's the only Tevin Campbell I will attempt. Anyway, right now, number 3. I saw a couple of number 3s in the audience, so thank you for like feeling me. But now the real mystery is going to be what's number 2 and number 1.
Yes, that is the question. Okay, well, going to my number 2. What did I put? Because I like to. Because I did my homework this time, and I wrote down. What did I? I wrote down the production of this. Kyle West was on his Mozart. So Kyle West, for those who don't know, Albie Shaw's first cousin. Kyle West's dad and Albie Shaw's mom are brothers and sisters. And Kyle West was a classic pianist, and he was into classical music before Al convinced him to drop out of college to do his production. If you listen to this track, you would see Kyle West going into classical music. You can hear, if you ever listen to Mozart and hear the type of piano playing a Mozart does, you hear it on this. And I said, wow, I could hear Mike singing this song. And as I'm saying that, I'm hearing the kids in the background. And I'm saying, this is a Michael Jackson track with the kids. I'll never hurt you again. That is when he was like doing his Michael Jackson. I'm going, and he had the kids to do that's the whole vibe. And it's not the bad thing. It's just the whole thing is like heal the world and yes. You know, if you listen to Heal the World, you have the kids playing at the back. If you go to Dangerous, listen to Heal the World, and you have it starting off with the kids saying, "We want to make it a better place," and then it starts off. This is the whole thing. It was like he probably listened to Dangerous and thought, okay, let me do some of that stuff. I loved "I'll Never Hurt You." I loved the production. Loved the vocals. Maybe the kids. I had kids in the background. You probably could have said for a remix, remove them out. But
Yes.
listen to it. Listen to the production. Just listen to Cal West.
It's beautiful.
His
It's amazing.
production, the way he was just the strings. They almost like I'm going to do an orchestra on this track. Number
Even the
two.
way his
That is
harmonies are
definitely a
towards
Namdi
the
Kid,
end.
that.
Yeah, like this, like da 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 da. But towards the end, like it's just like it's even more
Yeah,
intense. And
ding, ding,
oh,
ding, ding, ding. It just
oh,
goes climbing, and he uses, as I said, a very Mozart type of classical
yes.
stuff. It isn't just. I was like, oh, Kyle West was just doing his thing there. But yeah, it's definitely one of the things that.
Give me chills, man.
Now, have you heard the
Love.
MJ Vault drops this week? Oh, what did he say? Benson was saying that. Have you heard that the Michael Jackson Vault tracks dropped this week?
Oh wow.
Yes, I need to look into that.
Mhm.
Yes. So we've got Tony here, who seems to be dropping some eggs here. I had the promise to work with Alan's son Quincy, and Quincy's Night and Day remake featuring Al. He was humble, a nice person, and I started working on Al's new project. Oh, okay. That would be interesting.
I remember that remake. I do remember that Quincy remake.
Yeah.
That is like a doppelganger of doppelganger. It's crazy how much Quincy looks like Al. It's nuts. That I mean, that's yeah, it's nuts. It's like that is your mini me. That's your clone.
Yeah,
Nuts.
yeah. Okay, so that was number two for me. I'll Never Hurt You Again. I don't know why it's at the end of the album, but anyway. But actually, my number 2 and number 3 were both number 12 and 13. So
Yeah, easily done though with this album, right?
okay, PJ, what about you?
Number 2, produced by Albie Shaw and Carl West. There are remixes of this by Timar, as I said earlier. I was convinced that this was a Timbaland remix. I really thought it was a Timbaland remix for quite a while. But it's a guy called Tim Rouse. He hasn't done much else. This is obviously my number 2 is obviously the single Right Now. It's sampled in Jean-Michel Rotin track Pani des Odes from 2013. It's all right, but that's the only sample or sampled track from this song. But Right Now is fantastic. That's my number 2.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great song, and this cover is so lovely. I love this.
Yeah.
Such a great cover.
It's probably come from that photo shoot, hasn't it? I'm just thinking. I love the booklet.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they put some effort into this booklet as well.
Is that Kim Porter there?
Photograph.
It looks like
That's Kim, right? Kim,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it is
Kim.
Kim.
It's totally Kim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gives me
And
chills.
Dayu, you said something about a Mark Rooney remix. If there is a Mark Rooney remix of Right Now, I would love to hear it. I bet that would sound incredible. So if you have any information about that, that would be great.
Mhm.
Please do share. But the only remix I know is the one by Timar. So very good. My number 2 right now.
Okay. Stevie, what's number 2 for you?
This is the track that really surprised me and got really high up because Natalie was at dead cert for number 2. And I also feel this was the production. It's got a very funky, heavy kick. Reminds me of the Meters, the loop. I'm not sure if it is the Meters though. But it's almost like it's almost is it? Well, it is for me. This is like a Rich Harrison, A. Marie production, like 20 years before. You could say this started it. Never got any credit, but Turn You Out makes it to number 2 for me. Whoa, what a track!
Big
No,
tune.
what a track! In a Macaroni, boom, boom, boom. But it's that loop. The loop really gets me. And what they put over the top of boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Like you say, Rich Harrison before Rich Harrison and A. Marie.
Who's listed as a female vocalist on there? Because I wrote down
Like her
here
on
that it sounded like a Tammy Lucas type of how
Yes.
Tammy Lucas would just come in. It sounded like she was on there, but I'm sure she's not. But who is anyone credited for that?
Any credits?
Oh, that's one of the worst things. But the way she comes in, yeah, put it there.
Mhm.
I said Tammy.
MJ, no, it's a no. That's recording engineer. Doesn't
But
say, just credits himself.
at this time, he had discovered faith. Had he discovered faith in New? Because if he'd done a lot of this stuff in New Jersey, this is when he discovered faith in at a recording studio as a receptionist and got her on some of the stuff. I did wonder if she was on there and stuff. But anyway,
It probably
okay.
it might have been about that time then, right? Maybe.
Yeah, because she was with these guys and he discovered her around this time. So I wonder if she featured on any of these tracks but wasn't credited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bashir, you've just said that the Right Now remix is Timbaland and Timar. If that's the case, that's incredible. I thought it was. I was under the impression it was, but there's no credits, and I thought Timar was Timbaland. So maybe Timbaland wasn't credited at all on this, but that would make sense with the Devante connection, right? So
Yeah.
that is interesting. I not sure, but if you've got any information on that, please share, Bashir, or anybody else.
Hello, Emma. Okay, Andrew, number 2 for you.
So number 2 reminds me again of Al B's kind of like New York connection. So I was at a happy hour at work, and Dean Martin has a song, and people were doing it was like a karaoke, and the song was called "Ain't That a Kick in the Head." And I'm like, oh, okay. So Al B was referencing the Brat Pack when he did that. Not Brat Pack, Rat Pack when he did that song. And everything you said about that song, Namdi, is what I thought the whole time. I was like, I thought Right Now is going to be number 1, but the song sounds better to me now than it did even back then. You had the R, you had like the God MC on your track. Just the beat, everything about that song would have worked. I already had the video in my head. Like it's all uptowned out again, combat boots, leather, very much. And it would have needed a remix, to be fair, but still, like that could have actually cut through and been like, it could have kept up with Father MC. It could have kept up with Jodeci. Could have kept up with Mary J. Blige. And again, and my remix would have had like an opening rap with Rakim, then Al B, then everything, and then Rakim does the rap in the middle, and then the end. It was perfect. I love that song, and even the way the bass, the whole everything about that song is nothing but we are not even I am. We are the shit, and that's nobody is effing with us. That's what that song is to me.
Yeah,
love that song.
Yeah, kick in the head. So that's I'm listening to it. And I'm thinking, what? And as I said, I heard Natalie, and I see the album, and I heard Natalie, but then I'm thinking, if you really wanted to cut through the noise, you needed some of these other tracks that really, especially out of Rakim on it, do some remixes. Go to Eddie F and say, let's do an Untouchables remix on this one. It would have just been, I'll go back to Uptown, but yeah, that definitely would have been should have been a first single. I do wonder about the comeback. Would it have been like Getaway? Would it, Bobby Brown's Getaway? Would they have been different from that?
The visual, I'm sorry, but the visuals would have been akin to that, number one.
Okay.
And I forgot to mention too that even the voice, the way Rakim's voice is recorded, it just it booms. It's even more godlike sounding voice on that track.
Yeah,
it's anyways a missed opportunity in my
opinion. Definitely. Imagine it's like having Michael Jackson sing a hook on your track and you don't release the single, or back in the day when you had a Bobby Brown featured on the track and you don't release it. It's almost like, it's like what a waste.
And it's funny you mentioned Michael, because he even goes, baby, 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 which is like a James Brown thing, but Michael did that in his audition for Motown. So baby, 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 like he does that in the track.
Yeah,
everything about that, I'll be sure. Yeah. And the like it's just nobody sleep on us. You're like,
well, I'm glad you kind of because I had it all first single. I was saying the first single. I knew this would cut through, but yeah. Okay. So before I get to number 1, I will go and start with number 13 and down to number 1. And it would be surprising to most of you guys that number 13 is Turn You Out, which most of you guys put in the top 5. Number 12 is See the Lady. I think I didn't want to rank it because it was Channel J and I'd heard it from the first time. So I just thought, well, that, so I just, and Ooh for You Lady. I did think it was just a little bit. What did I put down here? I think I said it was just a little too, it was Rescue Me Part 2. I didn't say much about that. Yeah. And number 10 was Thanks for the Great Time Last Night. Number 9 is Natalie. Number 8, Kick in the Head, which I think should have been the first single. Number 7 is I Don't Want to Cry. Number 6 is You and I. Number 5 is Die for You. Number 4, Playing Games. 3 is Papes in the End. Number 2 is I'll Never Hurt You Again. And of course, number 1 is definitely Right Now. I just, oh goodness, I never get tired of that track. Never get tired of Carl West. You know what to do. Break it down, break it down. He sings it live on Arsenio with so much, just so beautiful. I'm like, wow. I think vocally, I'll be sure just vocally with that track, he just delivers as well as he does in Secret Garden. But I almost feel that this was his best vocal performance live. And the fact that I think what he doesn't get credit for, we always talk about Babyface as a songwriter or R. Kelly, but Albie Shaw writes all these lyrics, and I think it just gets missed completely that he's a proper songwriter. So yeah, Right Now, and Kyle West saying that I'll hear the track, and he says, "Man, let me write to this, and I'm gonna release it." And my favorite song on the album. So that's me. VJ, on to
Very
you.
nice, man. Very nice. Number 13, I'll Never Hurt You Again. This could have been number 1. My point is, it could have been number 1. You could turn my list upside down and it's fine. I'm okay with it. That's this album. So number 13, I'll Never Hurt You Again. Number 12 is You and I. I just wanted to share something about this song. It samples, it's sampled in the incredible Ninth Wonder mix called Blady May Beat 27. And if you haven't heard that and you like You and I, please listen to it. If you like hip hop, it's incredible. Ninth Wonder has sampled You and I and it's put it in there. Absolutely lovely. Number 11 is Die for You. Number 10, Papes in the End. Number 9, Ooh for You Girl. Number 8, Kick in the Head. Number 7, Thanks for a Great Time Last Night. Number 8, I Don't Want to Cry. Number 6, sorry, I Don't Want to Cry. Number 5, Natalie. Number 4, Playing Games. Number 3, See the Lady. Number 2, Right Now. Number 1 is a song that Namdi, you put very, 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 very low down. Our lists are very much the polar opposites in that respect. My number 1 is Turn You Out. It's absolutely
nice.
I really like it. It features Slick Rick, Albie Shaw and Devante Swing on production duties. It samples the Meters Look of Love from 1969 and also Dennis Kofi and the Detroit Guitar Band Getting It On from 71. Number 1, Turn You Out. That's fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
Bit ahead of its time, that's right. It's ahead of it production-wise, very ahead of its time.
Loved it. I loved it. And you know what? There's certain songs, I know it's like you could argue that it's a rehash of Channel J, but there's certain songs that you just like. And I love Channel J. And the fact that this came on this album in the version it did, yeah, it just made sense.
Yeah. Okay. Steve, what about you?
Number 13 is what you had at, is it number 2? I'll Never Hurt Again. Did you have that number 2, Namdi? Or was it number 3? I can't remember.
It was number 2.
Was it number 2? Number 12, I had Papes in the End. I thought it was very different to the rest of the album. I just thought the lyrics were a bit corny. That's why it's at number 12. Just a bit. They were just rehashing lyrics from, what he said in other albums. Fun. It was a fun track, though. And I do like Howie T's production a lot. I do like production. but I just thought the rapping was a bit, you know, you got to think of rapping in that era, the golden era, what was coming out, and that just number 11, Die For You. What can I say about that track? Again, it's just, I do like it, but that duet, it just doesn't mold well, does it? But I do like the track, and that's why they're the reasons them three didn't make my top 10. Number 10 was I Don't Want to Cry, which I think it's been a grower over the years that it didn't instantly hit me at the time. Number 9, See That Lady. Ooh For You Girl at number 8. 7, You and I. I'm glad I moved that back now. I'm kind of glad I moved that back. Number 6, Kick in the Head. Amazing track. Number 5, Thanks for a Great Time. Very underrated. Number 4, Playing Games. Number 3, Natalie, which is a standard Albie style track. What you get from him, just killer. Number 2, like you say, Turn You Out, which ahead of its time. And number 1 for me, it's the best track. It's not even debatable. It is the best track on this album. I think this is classic Albie, Kyle West. The production, the breakdown of the production, the singing, the lyrics. It was the lead-off single. It's Right Now. Killer. And it's the only track, actually, from this album that made my overall top 10 Albie Shore tracks. This made it number 2. That's how highly I rate this track. Number 1 was obviously Night and Day. I put this at number 2. So that's how I feel about this track.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
Wow,
yeah.
that's big.
Yeah, Right Now is definitely, yeah.
Just that Kyle West production is just
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Andrew, what about you?
All right. My number 13 sampled Poison, and now I understand why it sampled Poison, but it also sampled Just Can't Handle It. I remember reading that in the liner notes back in 92, 93, and when I heard this song after reading the liner notes first, I was so sorely disappointed, and it's the only one I skip without fail. And it is indeed Papes in the End. Sorry, fellas. I can't stand that song. Anyways, after that, sorry, I can't stand it. Like what? Albie? No.
You know what? Sorry, it's like something off Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, isn't it?
Yes,
Like
it's
Fresh
goofy.
Prince of Bel-Air, really cheesy rap type of thing.
But when did Fresh Prince of Bel-Air come out? What year was that?
I want to say 89 or 90.
Probably
as a
around
TV
90.
show.
And this was probably, it was around that sort of timing, summertime, that type of stuff. Anyway.
It was like 2 years later. Like it was starting to get more serious. Like you're all Jodeci out, and then you
Here I am, born and raised, and
yeah. Steve, you hit on the head, dude. That's
you guys
exactly
like
what-
cheesy rap. I know all of you listen to Oochie Coochie by MC Brains. I know you do, man. Don't lie to me.
But that beat was dope though. Anyway, sorry. Number 12, You and I know it's a good song. Trust me, everything else is dope, but it was just a little more like, this is more like what you probably shouldn't be doing because that's more Jodeci's lane, but it was cool, whatever. Ooh For You Girl is number 11. I always was like, why did Chubb Rock say something about Don Cornelius and then say my chinny chin penis? I didn't get, like, what? I don't want to hear that or whatever. So that was number 11. Now, number 10, See the Lady, Channel J. It's very, again, I keep saying Jodeci by Stevante, but it's just like the up-tempo Jodeci track. It fits right in with them. Number 9, Natalie. Great song, but just compared to the others, for me. Number 8, I Don't Want to Cry. Number 7, Playing Games. Number 6, I'll Never Hurt You Again. Again, it would be higher without the kids. Number 5, Die For You. It's just, I love when he also goes, isn't it great when you love someone just as much as they love you? It's almost like, damn, dude, but it is. It's like, it's rare. Or something like that. Anyways, it's just, I love that. Number 4, Turn You Out. So I'm with you, Veej. That song is just, there's something about it. I thought it would be higher, but it's number 4. Number 3, Right Now, because it's like that song that I thought was gonna be number 1. Number 2, Kick in the Head. So you guys already know. This song, number one, actually samples a bit of Naturally Mine. That dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun 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 dun, right? So thanks for a great time last night. That is the only song. I just want to thank you. I want to thank you, baby. I mean, that song is where did you learn that from? And when can you do it again? I mean, that song is, to me,
That's Michael Jackson.
it is. It's perfection. The only thing I don't like is, and that Namdi, on the podcast you had with Kyle West, you asked why did it have a parental warning sticker?
Yeah.
That's why. Oh, don't bite. Like
Yeah.
whole like fellatio.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It
actually,
starts it off like that. It just
they should have had a skit, separate track, and
Yeah.
then and even like the intro is too long, but that's
Yeah.
okay. That's the album version. Should have been a single. Thanks for a great time. And that's when the last thing I'll say is Kevin Dean did my number one and number two, and I wasn't even checking for Kevin Dean. I just noticed that pattern.
Yeah.
So I am. Oh, last thing I'll say is even during the pandemic when I go on these like walks to like for fitness, Thanks for a Great Time was always on my playlist. I love that song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as we've both been saying, that to me, that and Kick in the Head, I said
Yes.
could have been those lead singles. It would have been such a bigger market. And everything I've written about them is Michael Jackson, because he had that vibe, the whole Michael vibe, and it's Warner Brothers could have really pushed that out, but they let the ball drop on that. But no, I can't fault you with that. Yeah, well done. Okay. Before we get to our ratings, VJ, do you have what was the community, what they rated as
So the combined list at number 13 from everybody that submitted a list. Number 13 was "I'll Never Hurt You Again." It is what it is. I'm just saying it. People put things where they put it. I haven't done it. It's not me. Number 12 is "Die for You." Number 11, Andrew's favorite song, "Papes in the End." Number 10, "Ooh for You Girl." Number 9 is "See the Lady." Number 8 is "Kick in the Head." Number 7 is "You and I." Number 6 is "Thanks for a Great Time Last Night." Number 5 is "Natalie." Number 4 is "I Don't Want to Cry." Number 3 is "Playing Games." Number 2 is "Turn You Out." And rightly so, number 1 is that. So well done, Stevie. Stevie got it right. And an interesting thing about that song, I can't believe what Bashir has shared with us today. I looked at the credits on the back, and it says that the remix is by Timar. But Bashir said the credit's not on the sleeve, it's on the CD itself. So when I look at the CD, it says the remix is by Mark Morales. Mark Morales is one half of Soul Convention, and that has just blown my mind.
With Corey Rooney.
Yeah, that's insane, man. So there's a remix of Right Now. The remix of that is with Mark Morales. Wow. Thank you, Bashir. You are a superstar.
Yes. Okay. Out of a 10, VJ, what would you give the album?
This is a solid 8. There's not a bad song on this album. I have to give it. It's a very, very strong album. There's nothing bad on this album.
Yeah.
I can listen to any song and be happy. I don't have to skip a track.
Stevie, what about you?
Sorry, what was the question?
What would you give the track album out of 10? See, Colin. Max at 6. Wow.
It's not got any. If I'm really honest, has it got any classics on it? Classic R&B tracks? The answer's no, it hasn't. Is it a solid album that you can play from start to finish? Yes, it is. Even though, really, to be honest, it's a 7 at best out of 10.
Okay.
If we said everything, there's no classics on it. Even though right now, That was probably the only track that, but it didn't hit, did it? It wasn't a massive track. So for that reason, it can't be 10 or 10, this album. So I'm going to give it 7 or 7.5 maximum. That's it for me. Thank you very much. Roast me in the comments after if you want. But that's what I'm saying. How many classics are there on this album? There isn't any. Apart from Right Now. Right Now is up there.
Andrew, what about you? What would you give it?
Yeah, I think I'm biased. I think Stevie, when you called it kind of like kind of a capstone to like the New Jack era, like for me, I agree. I also lean more towards that style of voice than the more kind of like huskier voice. So, and also as a listening experience, it's like I can literally start it and not even have to touch it anything until Papes in the End, and then I go back, right? So anyway, no, for me it's a 9. I love the album, and it was for me like almost a part of growing up, like learning that the world isn't fair. Because I remember this album came out at the same time as Keep It Going On by High Five, and I'm like, how is like, I mean, Quality Time is a great song, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like as an album, this one was better to me than Keep It Going On. But I think Keep It Going On did better, you know?
Yeah.
Like, huh? Why? Huh? So yeah, no, I love this album, and I'm just super, again, glad and honored that I got a chance to talk about this with y'all and like the group, because I it's a solid 9 for me.
Trevor says 9. I would give it. I gave it an 8. And it's not a bad 8. It's a high 8. Definitely, as I mentioned, and I told Kyle that this was, even though In Effect Mode was his groundbreaking album, it goes into New Jack Swing folklore. But to me, this was one of the ones that as I say, when I think of I'll Be Sure, this album just always jumps out to me. So definitely giving it a nice solid 8. Girls loved High Five. So guys, we appreciate everyone who joined in. I'm sure Al didn't join us in, but I'm sure he's watching and stuff. And we appreciate everything. And we did say, to me, I felt listening to the album, I was like, yeah, this is when the strong male vocalist, the church vocals became more dominant, both male and female, and it really had an impact on those other singers from the 80s that just, it just affected them. AKA Ralph Tresvant really didn't make it through, but outside of that, it is definitely a beautiful album. So we will be back.
Can I say one thing, Andy, just before we go?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's one thing. I just want to say, 35 years into the future, I may not be here, but I'll tell you what, there'll be a generation upcoming they'll be discovering these New Jack Swing albums. Hopefully, they'll be watching this now 35 years on. I want to say hello to you. Thank you for watching. 35 years on, have you discovered New Jack Swing? Thanks for watching.
That's what's up.
That's definitely the case.
I like that.
Okay, guys. So we would definitely discuss our next album. But as always, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for making our Sundays an amazing time. And we'll definitely catch you later. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
us, or even loving us, on which I did miss you with
What was it like growing up?
she's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
I didn't get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Joseph's voice meant.
Play it.